Will Burnham be able to reconnect with her friends and shipmates? Or will we see the departure of the series' central character from the crew of Discovery? And will it be this man that makes it happen? Now, if this is your first contact with us, welcome aboard. My name's Carl Bromley, and this is the Trekkies Guide to the Galaxy. Now, if you haven't done so already, folks, we'd love it if you'd consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to hit that bell for notifications so that you find out whenever we post any new content. Later this week, we've of course got our review of episode 6 and also our regular Sunday night live stream of Let's Talk Trek. Okay, let's get into this. So, Michael Burnham still seems very disconnected from her crewmates and distracted following her year alone searching for Discovery and for clues to what caused the burn. And let's not forget that she also wants answers to what happened to her mother. Now, Michael has already admitted to Saru that during the year that followed her arrival, she had to adapt to survive. That there's certain things she lost during that period, and she needs time to find them again if she can. Saru, being the understanding being that he is, tells Burnham that he trusts her to grow through change. But what direction is that change going in? And where's it going to take her? Well, for a start, as pointed out by Tilly, she's lighter now. Nowhere near as intense as she's been for the first couple of seasons, and in the same conversation, Tilly also points out, as does Michael in her opening log from episode 3, that Burnham has already had to come to terms with the fact that she may have never seen the crew of Discovery again. And in a way, she's already let them go. Therefore, it's not that much of a stretch to think that she'd be able to leave the crew behind, given a good enough reason. But it's not just Tilly that's seen the difference. The ever-observant Giorgio also confronts Burnham, pointing out that now she's been able to live by her own rules, and without the weight of expectation from others to be who they think she should be, it won't be so easy to live by the rules of other people anymore. And what about her newfound friendship with Buck? Looks like they've become pretty close. And he's already asked her outright if Discovery feels like home. Now, her answer definitely isn't convincing me that she's going to be able to settle back into her former life on board. But who is it that's going to be the one that actually makes her see that this is no longer where she wants to be? My money's on Dr. Hugh Culber. Why, I hear you ask? Well, let's discuss this for a minute. Dr. Culber's character is taking on a very interesting role so far this season, because of the journey that this character has already been through in seasons 1 and 2, what with being murdered, existing in the mycelial network, being reborn and having to rediscover himself. It not only makes him the perfect character to recognise the trauma that each of the crew are starting to deal with, but it also makes him the one who will be able to use his own experience of dealing with trauma to help them in whichever way is best. And if you look at his interactions with Burnham so far, it's already been established that he recognises her trauma, and therefore his actions are directed at helping her deal with it. So in episode 4, when a lot of people were moaning that they'd have preferred to see Culber accompany Adira to Trill, because it would have made more sense, is the reason Culber did this not just to help Adira on her journey to discover herself, but to help Michael as well? The story of a new Trill host having to connect with all the new parts of what now makes her whole, it's a perfect metaphor for the personal journey that Burnham is currently on. and hopefully something that she paid attention to. And Culber would have seen that a mile away. And similarly, while on the USS Tikhov, when Narn was unable to reason with Dr. Attis, you'd have thought that Culber would have been the perfect choice to get through to him. But the Doctor once again pushed Burnham to be the one to deal with it. And if you listen not only to what she says, but how she says it, and the look in her eye, to me it was reflective of her own inner feelings. It's as if she's saying what she needs to hear herself. And I think this was Culber's plan. By making her do this, he's helping her realise that it's okay for her to let go and do what's best. There's some very subtle tactics being employed by the Doctor, and I think that this will continue throughout the rest of this season, with us seeing Culber encourage Burnham to take the lead in these situations, until eventually, along with some encouragement from Book no doubt, Michael will decide that she no longer belongs on Discovery. At least for the time being. Burnham has had to deal with some pretty intense trauma over last season and into this one. What with finding out her mother, who was presumed murdered by the Klingons, was in fact alive and trapped by time in the distant future, only to have her snatched away again. Then, having to deal with the possibility of never seeing her friends again, and having to learn to survive. Well, now that she's come to terms with the latter of those two traumas, she needs to be allowed to deal with the first one. And I think that she'll decide the way to do that is to leave Discovery with Book and go searching for her mother. And I think it's Dr. Culber that will help her come to this realisation. So, my theory is that come the end of the season, Burnham will leave Discovery with Book, but also that she'll be back with him in season 4. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to smash the like button. I'd love to know what you think about this theory, or indeed, if you have any theories about how the season's going to develop. So drop those in the comments below and let's discuss. Also, we'd love it if you'd consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell for notifications. That way you'll find out whenever we post any new content. So, until next time, set a course for home. Warp 8. Engage.